We pick up here where we left off in part 1 at Thorpe, Hesley. We're running parallel to Hesley Bar, which is 700 feet away over to our right. The Turnpike route being chopped in half by the M1 motorway, which we're crossing here at junction 35. Today we're taking the old Turnpike road through Cowley, Chapeltown, Mortomley and High Green before reaching the countryside at Howbrook and reaching the 4-lane Ends Turnpike near Wortley. We can see from these superimposed maps where the Turnpike route went and where we are today. The lane on the right goes to the Travellers' Rest public house, which is now the Hesley Bar and restaurant. We can see where the old route and the new route join, just before these traffic lights and before the bridge over the railway. We're now entering Cowley, but the urban sprawl has seen it in Mortomley renamed as all being Chapeltown. At a distance of 5 miles from where they set off in Rotherham, the two drovers are still walking with 64 sheep, down from 66 because 2 were stolen as our drovers rested at Hesley Bar. As we crossed Blackburn Bridge, there was a pinfold to our right, a place to park the sheep while taking refreshment at the Wagon and Horses, or the White Horse Inn, the latter long since gone, to make way for the railway. Here the old and the new Turnpike routes parted company. In the late 19th century, Rotherham and 4-lane Ends Trust branched left here through Burn Cross. But we are following the old Turnpike route, which we know from Stephen Cooper's book. The head man, Joseph Taylor, who was able to travel more quickly than the common drovers, because he was on horseback, overtook them at Mortomley Lane End between Chapeltown and High Green, and then he walked or rode along with the sheep. Burglars and Sheep Stealers by Stephen Cooper. Lane Ends is just about here. And as we reach the Liddle, we're in Mortomley, but in the 19th century there was nothing but fields, the occasional farmhouse, tavern and lodge. Mortomley was here, the Packhorse Inn on Packhorse Lane to our right. The inn might have been rebuilt, but the Packhorse name stands as evidence of this route's at least 200-year-old past. The old Cart and Horses Inn stood somewhere near this roundabout, along with village pumps and troughs to quench thirsts. We now reach High Green before descending to High Green Bridge and the old toll bar which stood upon it, and is now a bus stop. And now we come to a new road which we must cross, a road which wasn't there 200 years ago. It's the A61. Hollinbury Lane takes us into Howbrook, a sparse farming settlement that's grown in recent times. Imagine our two drovers and their 64 sheep in front of them walking along this lane, nearing their 9-mile destination at the 4-lane ends Turnpike. As we follow Howbrook Lane, we note how little it has changed in the ensuing years, and going by the current road surface, we may yet reach the rough paved road our two drovers and their sheep walked upon. The relatively new tramway cottage, not named after trams, but the tramming of goods, sees our route abruptly depart from its original path thanks to the A616. We are shunted onto the A629, the new turnpike route of the Rotherham and 4-lane ends trust, before we have a chance to meet the 4-lane ends turnpike by its original route. The remains of Howbrook Lane now being private for access only. We still get there and meet up with the ghosts of our drovers and arrive at 4-lane ends near Wortley. Next time, we'll discover our drovers were kept on for a gruelling further 13 miles from 4-lane ends to go right over to Woodhead on the Rotherham to Saltersbrook Turnpike route. From here at Finkel Street, then to Greenmore and beyond.